All right, folks, officials now are saying some of the wreckage from the missing Malaysian airplane has been found in the waters near Australia. This is just the most recent in a slew of reports about the missing Malaysian aircraft. Although the story has garnered a lot of news coverage, not all of it has been factual or even relevant. I want to turn now to my guest to talk about just this phenomenon and what really is driving this. Is it a question of ratings or actually intrigue from the consumer? Joining me by Skype, Joe Concha with Mediaite.com. He is in New Jersey, and also psychiatrist Dr. Dwight Owens. He is in Atlanta. And Joe, I want to go to you first. CNN is now essentially the Malaysian news network. Every total coverage. One person described it as CNN's crack, if you will. And so what do you, and then of course they've gotten significant ratings from it. Now you see the other networks increasing their coverage. What is it about this story that has folks really glued into the sets?
Well, Roland, I think arguably it is the biggest mystery of the 21st century up until this point. An airline with 239 passengers just goes off the radar, off screen. You don't find it for 13 days. No significant leads, no motives, no terror groups coming forward to say, hey, we did this. It's something like we've never seen before, and I think the reason why it's resonating with viewers so much, why CNN's going all in on this, and I'll explain why in a moment, is because the conversations that we're seeing on television match what we're having across our dinner tables, at bars, at water coolers, Roland. I think it's one of those rare cases where everybody has a theory, whether it be on TV or at home, it all matches up, and as a result, everybody is just captivated by it.
And of course, actually what they have done is, for the day, Australia, they have stopped the rescue operations they're done for the day to try to find the missing plane in the southern Indian Ocean. That's of course, the latest reports up to date. I want to go to Dwight here. And Dwight, is it a question of, I mean, obviously it's a mystery. You also have TV shows like Lost. You had the show The Event on NBC. Is it also a matter of people somehow attached to this story and living through it because so many of us fly as well, and it just captivates the mind?
I think now what is happening is we're now in between trying to decide whether or not our fear and paranoia, if they're actually real or imagined. And it's like, when you think about the concept, many of us fly daily, weekly. And so as a result, there's a heightened sense of just fear. And what is happening is people are being pulled into their own actual paranoia, and it's probably going to get worse if we don't find out exactly where this plane is.
And to that point, Joe, I mean, obviously they have not identified the wreckage. They're not quite sure that what the Australian radar satellite images have picked up is actually from that plane. I can only imagine if we go 15, 20 days, 30 days, 60 days. I mean, I just don't see media outlets like CNN and others pulling back from this. And I think, as Dr. Owen said, you're going to have more people drawn in because it's still a mystery.
It's that old Gordon Gekko saying, Roland, it's all about bucks, kid. In this case, bucks are ratings. And you mentioned that the jump that CNN's had before. We're not talking 20%, 30%. We're talking 400%. They're actually beating Fox in certain time slots, even in total audience over weekends. This is something that CNN has not enjoyed since the Boston bombings. And you know how it works over there. During the Boston bombings, they went all in on that coverage. George Zimmerman, all in on that trial. Ukraine, somewhat. Now this. It plays to their resources of having Folks International and the fact that there's not really another big story out there. You can make a compelling case that Russia invading Crimea is a big story, but international news doesn't resonate as much with American viewers. So what we have is Jeff Zucker's dream, a cable executive's dream, an easy story to understand that the audience can relate to and everybody can put forth a theory. This is why it's doing great. And as you said, Roland, if this wreckage doesn't turn out to be from Flight 370, this will go on for 15, 30 days. As long as they're getting the ratings for it, they'll continue to cover it because the mystery, as long as there's no closure, there's no reason to get away from the story.
Dr. Owens, is it dangerous for a viewer to become consumed by this story and constantly watching it and constantly checking Twitter feeds as well? I mean, is there some kind of danger, again, for a viewer to just really totally go all in?
Definitely. If you recall back in 9/11, PTSD is real, or actually being the actual trauma, or just watching this on television over and over again. If this goes on for more than 30 days, we all may be experiencing some portion of PTSD, or what we call post-traumatic stress disorder, related to this missing flight. This is something that's very real, something that has to be treated, and it can lead to a lot of sleepless nights.
All right. Well, I certainly appreciate it. Thank you very much, Dr. Owens, and also